Hello again.
Hi.
Which episode is this?
Episode 8.
Which I believe is Pete the Jakey.
That's what I meant to say the last time. See that particular Teddy Boy one?
Yeah.
That was a new thing, didn't it, we did this year?
We added that in. There was 2 inserts into the credit sequence because Colin Gilbert, the producer, felt that there was the transition, I think, from the 60s to the 70s was too similar.
Aye, it didn't look right.
Or sorry, the 50s to the 60s. So we put in Teddy Boy looks and just to kind of differentiate.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's worked very nice.
Works very nicely, yes. Naveed.
Yes. This is Jake Darcy's episode.
Yep.
I have to say, Ford, at this point, I always like when Jake's out with his... Jake plays Pete the Jakey. And for my money, the man's a legend, having worked with Bill Forsyth and Chick Murray and Gregory's Girl and whatnot. I just think I can't get enough of him. And when we get him out this time, I want to ask him lots of stories about those guys, because Bill Forsyth's a bit of a hero of mine.
And there's the great and wondrous Sanjeev Kauli.
Sanjeev Kauli, who...
did a lot of writing for us on Chewing the Fat.
Did a lot of writing and hadn't done much acting, and... used to do impressions of his father, do you remember?
Yeah.
And we said to him before he did his audition, just imitate your dad. And I don't know if his dad knows this, so I better watch what I say. But we howled with laughter, and so did the producers, and he got the part, and we were delighted for him because he's absolutely fantastic.
Changed his beard in this series because the beard that he had in the first series was a bit like Ra, the sun god.
I thought he looked like a womble. A womble falling down a lift shaft.
Uncle Bulgaria.
Spots you, Pete the Jakey, and he feels compassion because he's a kind-hearted fox. He then gives you the other banana.
And this is something that we're interested in, is that half accent. You know, you get shopkeepers that have got the half Glasgow accent mixed in there as well, which is you get with some Italian cafe owners as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that the tea arrived? Thanks.
Well, and a bit like myself, actually, Ford. Being a sort of a transatlantic dude myself.
A kind of half and half.
A sort of Fergus McCann job, if you know what I'm talking about.
Now here's my favourite scene in the series.
This is the sort of sausage breakfast.
We eat an entire breakfast in
gourmand scene.
That's right, in one scene.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we had here was we had to do this in one take because, as you can see, we're eating an entire breakfast, and the thought of eating 2 huge breakfasts or 3 in 3 takes is just not on.
I keep disappearing behind that little cupboard and dropping stuff off because I couldn't keep up with you with the eating. And we had to look as if we were eating the whole thing, and there was no break. So, of
course, the other thing is, although these are sets, this is what they call a prac cooker, because we're actually cooking the breakfast, so it's plugged into the mains.
I know what you're talking about.
I know. And these 2 plates here that are sitting on the top here are actually sitting on top of a hot grill, because the grill's up full blast.
Ergo, they're very hot.
Ergo, they're very hot.
No, you see, that'd been official looking. So I take the black pudding, take a bite and dump it, and it looks as if I've eaten the whole thing.
Which is bad news.
It's bad acting. It's not method.
I wasn't looking forward to the black pudding.
You were putting that off to the last. I left the totty scone. I don't even think I got round to that. I think I take a bite and then dump that as well. Rip a wee piece off.
Aye, I'm up for that cookery programme. Stands next to the stupid cow.
And then dump the rest. See, cunning that, isn't it?
Bastard.
You had about 5,000 calories that day.
I know.
That's right, big balloon. Snip, snip. Check, please. Thank you.
See, I couldn't eat the totty scone because I was on the Atkins diet at the time.
Here we go now. Nice hot plates. Look at the fingers. Look at my fingers. Wait, you see this? Oh, Jesus. I'm at my daddy. Oh, no.
That's right.
Absolute murder.
This is at the end of a 3-minute take, and Ford cannot put the plates down and shout, "For God's sake!" He's got to hold the plates, and so he balances one plate on the other. Very good.
Acting and burning at the same time. Thank you. So he's about to say, going, "Oh, you bastards!"
Now, you see, I can't eat much in the morning.
I'm the same. I've got the appetite of a sparrow.
We love the build up to a joke, and that's what that scene's around. It's about a 3-minute build up to the 2 of us sitting here and pretending like 2 old women that we don't eat much.
There's the Clansman, which is in fact
the Gimlet.
The Gimlet
in Ruckhill.
Ruckhill, yeah.
Fabulous pub, fabulous people. They look after us. They're really nice. And of course, in the first series, we actually used to film in the Gimlet.
That's right.
Whereas the scene that you're now seeing is done at the studios in Maryhill, Craigmont.
And
Media
Graham
Park.
Rose has faithfully recreated the interior of that pub.
He has done. Yeah, he had to do that because it just meant less travelling and whatnot.
That's right. So an actor took his butt. What? Wouldn't it be me stealing a gangster's bunting? Peace.
Gavin Mitchell.
Gavin Mitchell, who was originally way back when we did these sketches on Pulp Video. He was originally Winston.
That's right. He was going to play Winston in the in Edinburgh, and unfortunately he was unavailable. And so Paul Riley ended up playing Winston. And Gavin, we've known Gavin for years and years. We've worked with him many times, and we were desperate to get him involved in Still Game because he's one of the best.
Aye, he's huge talent, brilliant.
And there's young Jimmy.
Young Jimmy Martin.
Jimmy Martin. Jimmy can tell you a story or two, and he started off as a very sort of marginal member of the cast, and he's very much in the middle of the community now, isn't he, Jimmy?
Absolutely. I mean, Jimmy, it's one of the things that Jimmy had says to me that way back in the 60s he used to wear a caftan, and you're like, wow, that's amazing.
But he does get better and better. The character gets better and better, I mean, and we've written more and more for Jimmy because he is brilliant.
What episode was it with the car where he threw up in the car?
I can't remember. That was brief.
It was brief, yeah. But he threw up in the car and it was just immense.
You'll be lucky. Who does this sound?
He also has a great scene where he describes his incontinence and sticks a hole in his leg with it. Do you remember that?
Aye, that was great. Bogging, but great.
Come to terms with it.
And begin to try and deal with it. It's a cow.
And no amount of shit to Bunton's going to change that.
Oh, smashing. Too flat lager.
Fit for the dignitary.
Wee Wido.
ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਲੂੰਬੜ ਹੈਗਾ
What?
ਕੱਲ ਰਾਤ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਈ
Oh, great, Meena. There's me getting it loudly to Pete.
There's Shamshed. Now, of course, everybody will know who watches Still Game knows that we never see Shamshed's face.
No, it's a device that we really like.
Shamshed plays
Home
Meena.
Improvement do it a lot, where the guy just peeks through the fence.
And Cheers, of course, Norm's wife.
Yeah, Norm's wife.
Yeah. So it was just a wee homage to some of the sitcoms that we enjoy, isn't it? We always thought we should have a character whose face you never see.
Here's Jake.
Pete, wait, I want to apologize.
Great notion to have the local tramp in a suit. We also had, you might have noticed, Enjoy Isaac Gain as a Fright coming in every now and again, where she kind of hovers in or ghosts in and goes, starts to talk. We always get a fright. We enjoy that.
When we first wrote her, we actually had her on casters and wheels, didn't we? Yeah. And we sort of enjoyed her gliding in, but we thought it was a bit too ghostly. So she just kind of does a wee natural glide, and she's very good at it. She actually does frighten me when she comes in like that.
What, you mean before she puts the makeup
Hello,
on?
you two. What are you saying about Jane?
What are you saying about Jane?
Leave her alone, man.
Jimmy? Glass of Thunderbird, Bobby?
Do you want that in a martini glass?
Get it up, you. No, that'll no do at all. Here you. Have you won the lotto?
You're going to a funeral.
What you're going to?
Are you getting married?
You Pete the Tramp Switch twin.
Why are you wearing a suit, mate? Tell us why. Start with you, come on. Community centre. Opening tomorrow. So big wigs are going to be there. Well, me...
These are the kind of scenes that you see in cowboy movies where every member of the cast just previously there actually utter the next sentence. Nobody says anything twice. Don't forget me too, I'm coming.
Jake's very much like Jimmy in that I think Pete the Jakey was a character that was only going to come in for a couple of scenes in one episode, and Jake's so great, we just kind of keep writing stuff for him, and his part's got bigger and bigger, hasn't it?
It's a bit brutal, this, what we're doing to Pete the Jakey, isn't it? We're all having a go at him,
I think we were worried about the tone of it, actually, at the time we were doing
That
it.
it was too bullyish.
Yeah.
And then she tells me it was a fox. So if you see him, telling I'm looking for him.
Well done, Naveed, okay. Fox, eh? Tough one. See, if it was a rat now, you'd just set a trap for it or poison it, end a problem. But a fox? How do you catch a fox?
By becoming one.
Eh?
I like the Pepsi and Coca-Cola balance so that we don't get sued by the other one.
Exactly. Enter Paul Young.
Without his fishing rod.
Without his fishing rod for once.
But he's smart. Wily. He's no dirty, he's clean. Groomed.
You'd have seen Paul Young earlier on in the series. Would it be the first series where he had superhuman hearing on account of these big lugs he's got. But the minute he got the ears on and arrived on set, it was right there, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
We enjoyed the character because there was a sort of a supernatural or a super-powered sort of element to him. He wasn't quite like the rest of us, and I think we're sort of going to continue along that line in the new series with some other characters who sort of are superhuman.
In some ways,
In some way, aye.
What did you make of that bugger, Pete?
A bit of fun that suit in a bin.
Internal operations. Imagine Pete protecting anybody.
You're awful quiet, Bobby. What are you saying to it?
This is where the plot thickens.
I don't know.
Don't know what.
He was telling the truth.
What? Get a hold of yourself.
No, listen.
We haven't mentioned Mark Cox, of course, who plays Tam. Tight-fisted Tam.
Are you back to bother?
He brings nothing to the party, does he? We've been trying to write him out for about 4 episodes. Asshole. You know we're only kidding, Mark.
Mark is the miserable guy. He's totally miserable. He'll do anything not to, and he's based on a friend of ours. We've no mention, but
Martin Kane.
Martin Kane.
Yeah.
It was a quiet one. Just a couple of punters in. A few boys at the pool table. Pete was in. Just sitting. Next thing I know, a rally starts up. They're all fighting, shouting and bawling.
Gavin looks like that magician that used to play the late night shows at the
Robert Halpern.
The naughty something or other. No, that was something else.
Something else. Available in the stores now.
He says,
I like the relaxed t-shirt. I thought that was a nice touch.
What are you saying? You're saying that he said about them all?
But the smell of them don't come out. You buying this?
it's an odd story, right enough, Jack.
Victor?
It's a lot of shite. We'll get to the bottom of it. Come on.
How's it doing?
Well, I've got to find Pete. Find out what the hell it is he's talking
A
about.
lot of nice locations in Maryhill. There's a lot of good sandstone buildings and that double for other streets and things. And we find myself in Maryhill a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they've tried to take his drink off him and he's turned into a Hulk.
Susan's on a bus. Give me back my pint.
What are you two off to in a hurry? Is Naveed selling incontinence pads at half price?
Where are you going?
It's a big story. Naveed's being plagued by a fox. It's in amongst all his garbage, tearing away at the bins and spreading its filth everywhere. It's going to have to be stopped.
He's definitely fatter than
I'm
me.
heading up to Shults just now.
You'd think so from that, but then the sun is blasting him and showing up his double chin. I wouldn't hold that against him. You know, he's badly lit.
Aye, okay.
You know, you'd want to put him in shadows. We must remember that for the thirsty. Here, just let me write that down. Put Paul in the shadows, like Brando in Apocalypse Now.
Aye.
You know.
Cover his fat.
Yeah.
Follow this man and place him under our surveillance to ascertain whether or not he's telling the truth.
But fat is funny.
That's really sad.
Aye, Oliver Hardy.
You must remember that.
You won't admit that you've got nothing today. I mean, here am I'm doing something really interesting, but you two won't have it. You're trying to top it with spy pish. Look, if you two are going up the road to pull on woolly slippers, slurp tea and eat blue ribbons whilst watching 15 to 1, then be men enough to admit it. Don't lie to people that know you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a fox to catch.
Winston, we're telling you.
Right, okay. I'll play along with your wee game. Who is your international man of mystery?
Peter Jakey.
No.
Nice bit of timing by Paul there. See, thin guys can't do that kind of timing.
No. We write up Paul's timing, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's right. We can write the gaps in for him.
We actually have a big, what's like a stop sign with a red light and a green light, and we put the red light up, and he watches it, and when it goes green, he knows to say the line.
Yeah. Whose idea was the Mancini music for this bit?
Oh, it was that idiot Scouser director,
What's his name again?
Michael. Calm down. Come on, Liverpool, come on. Liverp. OOL Liverpool FC. Hines, that's his name.
Heinzie.
No, he's
Is that how we've got to do with our
he's a
time?
rogue.
That we've got to fill it up with this.
streaming up a lot.
We like to slag Michael a lot, actually. Remember that night when we were showing these to the audience and he was late, and we took advantage of him being late by giving him absolute pelters to the audience for about 10 minutes. And then we introduced him at the end and they were all laughing and he didn't know why.
Aye.
Bless him.
He's sitting in that big fancy hotel.
So he is.
What?
I suppose that's the thing about these commentaries that we're doing, is that if anybody pisses you off while you're filming, you can batter into them at this point. And they'll have that to worry about when we're out filming the next time.
Aye, we'll bag him. Michael messes us about, just bag him for it, you know what I mean?
Aye. Harrods, do you see the play on words there? Do you see that? Harrods? Harrids?
I never ever noticed that.
Don't you never noticed it? I wrote it.
I know. Well, you suggested it and I went, that'll do. I never noticed.
That'll do.
Right. Got scraps to attack him. No, chicken, pork.
Paul said to us, Paul's got quite big ears in real life, you know. He's got
Paul Young as opposed to Paul Riley.
Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
But he says to me, you gave me this part, Sugarlug, because I've got big ears. We're like, no, we're putting big ears on you, over and above your big ears.
Throw him in the canal. No, release him in the countryside.
Countryside.
Good in Philly. How are you going to see him? It's going to be pitch black.
Oh, we'll see him all right. With these?
Night goggles. Quality. Winston, put lights out.
There you go.
And these are the bollocks.
These are the bollocks. I love that line.
Oh, you cheeky bastard.
Because his eyes have gone all beady like that, because it actually looks like a fox, doesn't he, there?
You always find he tries to steal scenes when we're not in the scene with him.
Well, yeah. I mean, fat people tend to do that.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll do.
Here, what do you think we saw the day?
Oh, I don't know, Jack. We saw something, though.
See, the thing is, he couldn't have always been an Archie. I mean, he must have done something before he had a sauce.
Aye, that's right, aye. I mean, what do we actually know about him? See, I can't remember him ever working.
No, neither can I, no. Yeah, maybe he's not an Alky at all. Maybe he's leading a double life.
Well, there'll be some turn up for the books if he is involved with the government right enough.
Aye, after ripping the piss out of him. What was it you said? Licence to get pissed.
That was he-haw. Was you'll be pissed halfway.
How?
You did the bloody Bond theme, called him an alky bastard.
What be pissed off?
I don't know. Went in pretty heavy on him.
Think he's going to rub us out?
Eh?
Aye, come after us, you know. Kill us, government style, you know. There you are on your way to the post office, and you get there, you're in the queue. Hello, Tam. Hello, Winston. Hello, Eric. Oh, and you see a face you don't recognise.
See that cardigan you're wearing? That conjures up immediate empathy for your character. I always feel sorry for you when you've got that cardigan.
Because of the cardigan.
No, feeding the ducks. It's a nice day. An old day or so.
It's good because you go on set and the design department have put props on. Some of the stuff's great.
Yeah.
The likes of that yellow cloak and the warrior and the kind of 60s lamps and all that.
Yeah,
and when you're in between takes, you're footing about lifting things and looking at them and going, oh, wouldn't mind taking that home. I have actually had a few things off the set and took them home. Like,
Yeah, just a few.
just a few. I remember the day the van came round.
Can't get that open. I'd polish Jake over his head, incapacitate him, pin his arms to his body. Then I'd take the palm of my hand, smash off.
Your face is so red there. You don't think we're laughing too much at our own stuff?
I
do you?
don't know, no, I'm just filling the gaps with giggling.
That you putting the finishing touches on for the Mara, is it?
You got to admit, but it's funny, ain't it, man?
Yeah. Did you steal that?
It's totally good, man.
It's good stuff, man. Good gear.
I had to cut a bit off it.
Bobby, you might be right about Pete. We followed him into the town, he was acting right suspicious.
Yeah, we saw him hooking up with a couple of suits. There's definitely something going on, aye.
Tell yous.
Internal operations.
Pete.
Bobby?
Glass of Thunderbird.
No, water. Water more. Oh, that's right. Snigger, have a laugh. too much to swallow, that smelly old alky like me could have any responsibilities. Who'd want any to do with me, eh? What good am I to Andy? That's all right. You wait tomorrow. We'll see who's sniggering then. Cheers. Oh, and by the way, the admission, should you choose to accept, sniff my manky ring.
Well, that's...
Now there's a story.
There's a story. Would you like to begin, Mr. Hemphill?
Well, I'll tell the good listeners to our this audio track what the original line was. The original line, and we may end up having to bleep this, I don't know, was "Sniff my honking cock."
That's right.
And
which we thought was a wee bit brutal.
We thought it was a bit brutal, and we had to change it.
And then what was it? Kiss my manky ring piece. What did it eventually? What did they say there?
We tried every expletive, and that was the one that was deemed clean enough and yet filthy enough to make the grade. And Jake would come up with phrases we'd never heard before and say, "What about this?" And we'd be like, "Jesus, Jake, you can't say that."
The guy on the right is Donald McCleary. Also wrote a hell of a lot of stuff along with...
yes, Donald McCleary is responsible
Sanji.
for the Lonely Shopkeeper, I think,
That's
along
right.
with Sanj.
Yeah.
And along with many other characters.
No, this is too much for any man to take. You press all over my tank top. It's ringing there.
Sanjeev had a line there, but it kind of got lost under the laughter, and I always thought it was a great line when he says, "You pished all over my tank top."
I'm not in that counting a beads for some tobacco.
Right-o.
Shut.
That's odd. It's not really open.
If you're interested, the shop is actually in Town Head. And it's in a good wee scheme. The people always come in and watch us filming. It's like pissing in the wind round about here. Can so build it up and then Ned's pan it in, eh?
What's in it anyway?
Pong table, I think.
Is that it?
Eh?
Jesus. Disney World.
Disney World, no way.
That's a good idea.
This guy's great. This is one of those wee seeds that people keep coming up to you and telling you they love, and in the street stuff. Very memorable.
Watch the community of Craig Lang grow and flourish. My father grew up here in Craig Lang, and he always had the greatest respect for his home.
No, he didn't.
I only wish that he could be here today to see this.
No, you don't.
I'm sure that he would join me in congratulating Craig Lang today as we open this wonderful facility. For this building is a magnificent addition to a caring, thriving, forward-thinking community.
No, it isn't.
Wee boy there.
This is our homage to all those sort of great assassination movies, isn't it?
It's a Clint Eastwood one where he's saving
Line
the
of Fire.
president, aye.
Yeah. Or JFK or something.
It's our first slow-mo.
Caught in the crossfire, two innocent old men.
Yeah. It would have made the papers.
Yeah. Needless to say, we didn't have the budget of In a Line of Fire.
No.
Bloody hours.
You should punch your hole in, you bastard.
Tell a lot of lies about working for the police.
Protect the Kunstler.
Look, I'm sorry.
Why did you do it, Pete?
Shut up, you wee dick. We saw you getting into a lift with a couple of heavies.
Well, I clocked you two following me, so I stood beside them so you'd think I was with them.
You weren't with them?
You haven't got 20p for a cup of tea, boys? No.
So that was us shite.
Sorry.
You're reeking a pish.
No, that's me.
Hey.
Got pissed on my tank top. Never mind.
Why'd you tell all the lies, Pete?
When we all leave this scene, there was a bet on who could upstage and who could stay in the shot the longest, and I think Jake won it,
Jake
didn't
won
he?
it, aye.
Pete the Tramp. Smelly Pete, eh? And another thing, Craig Lang. It's a shite hole. And I'm the shittiest thing in it. That's the way people think about me. And I'm sick of it. So that's how I made up all them lies. That was important. That was somebody, eh? Big deal. So what? Now you know. I'm a nobody.
Bollocks!
Aye, bollocks.
I've been sitting in that cell for 4 hours. My bloody arse is numb.
We've just done time for you, you arsehole.
Easy, easy. Aye, calm down. Get us all lifted again.
Jack, Victor, you're being a bit harsh. We're all just at the jail, huh? Emotions running a wee bit high. We're all a bit raw. So we told a lie and got a bit out of hand. We all tell
Bit
lies.
out.
We shouldn't be saying like,
Naveed, the peacekeeper here, he just kind of settles everybody down.
we get a drink and have a laugh about this. We could all do one.
And we're all lingering, we're all not wanting to leave the shot. Sanj has done well there, but Pete gets it. Jake gets it.
How did a bolus come to be pissing in your tank top?
We were fox hunting.
Oh, that's another thing. It wasn't any fox. It was me that was raked through your bins.
You dirty, smelly, useless, stinking, bin-raking bastard.
What's the moral of this episode? Don't judge a book by a cover unless it's a shitey alcoholic book.
It's good to have you out, Brian.
It's good to be out. So, what's been happening?
Your business is down the tubes.
These fellas are
All
good.
before the Klansmen came up and nicked your bunting. David Taylor shagging your missus.
Back up a bit. Who's got my bunting?
You might want to look at them two again because they're good. They two guys.
Brilliant.
It was too wee a bit, wasn't it? For them?
Absolutely brilliant.
Liz Sherry's the continuity. Keeps us going. Scripts. What is it she's supposed to say as with her Brian?
Oh, we can't say that on
can
the.
we not?
I don't think we can say that in the commentary.
Right.
Oh no, as much as I'd like to.
Oh, no, thank you, sir. Oh, they still think I'm a tramp. Oh, really? Where would that be, sir? Eh? Thursday, midnight. I'll need a chopper. And 6 cans.
That was that. Well, thanks for that wee round.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Thank you, now. Right, we need to get something to eat, don't we?
I'm starving.
Okay.